Hey everyone, hello again. It's Sharon Hankins here, live on my page. I restore stuff for another DIY project. I am going to be showing you again my collaboration with Essential Stencil and their beautiful range of stencils. I've come up with a timeless home collection. Timeless home collection is what it's called. And we've got all sorts of beautiful stencils and transfers available in that collection. So I'm going to run through some of those today, and we're going to work on a backing of a signboard that we can get started with. I'll be going live on Essential Stencil's page tomorrow to show you more of that collection. I may even start to finish this dresser drawers right behind me here, which I've just been touching up this one side because I've got it on both sides. I'm not sure if you can see that. Maybe I'll have to just turn that around there so you can see. Maybe Olive might peep into view as well. If you're joining me live, let me know where you're watching from. So we've done the drawers. This used to be just a plain IKEA chest of drawers, just a set of 3 drawers. And I've painted it in Fusion Mineral Paints Homestead Blue. So it's a gorgeous sea color blue, sea blue, Homestead Blue. And I'm a retailer here in Australia for the Fusion Mineral Paint. And also you can get it online. If you're in the USA, you can get it online and use my code I restore stuff and get 10% off there. So we've got all these beautiful stencils. So we've got a drawer stencil and some, there's the drawer stencil here. This is a part of the Timeless Home collection. And then also some border stencils. So we've got the eucalyptus, some Swiss cross, the dash and dots, and also these little diamond ones, which I've also used on this dresser drawer set. So I might try and do that last side on here tomorrow. So I've just kind of touched it up because it was, to tell you the truth, it was sitting in our bedroom for a while because I knew I was going to do this on a live. This part, I did the rest just somewhere in the garage. And Olive it's been right at our door, and she'll just kind of do a little scratch on it. It didn't have scratch marks in it because Fusion's quite durable, but you could kind of see where the wearing was going on. So I've just touched that up, and it's fresh paint there. That's beautiful Homestead Blue. So let me pop that back in the background here, and I'll show you the rest of the collection. So let me see. If you're joining me live, let me know in the comments. Hi Jackie, how are you? Great to see you here. Oop, better shift this around. And let me see, so I've shown you the drawers, I've shown you that. We've got a gorgeous arch window. So we've got the window arch there, and then also you can optionally, so you don't have to add the stained glass part. I thought we'd create something for a background for that today. And this beautiful verse from Philippians 4 verse 8. And then we've got a set of keys. It's a set of 4 different antique keys. All different ones there. I did go live here on my page yesterday. If you missed that, you can catch the replay, and I went through all of these. We also have this gorgeous set of 3 trellis patterns. So we've got 3 kind of different designs there. They're a lot of fun. I used that on my live yesterday. This place where I put that little sign that we made. And then we've got these lovely sayings. So this is, I love that it's, we've called it the Timeless Home collection. It's not particular to any season or theme necessarily, just around the home. So it makes great home decor, or you could even put these on furniture as well. So these gorgeous sayings, 4 sayings right there, all on one sheet. Love begins at home. There's that. So that's the stencil bundle, and you can save if you order this whole stencil bundle together using my code I restore stuff at essentialstencil.com. And then there's additionally you can purchase these, whoops, I've got that upside down, transfers. So the transfers come in beautiful vintage windows and keys. And there's little locks for the keys as well. And there is a door, so mostly windows, but there's this gorgeous French doors right there as well. Cottage country, so nice large windows. You can see that I've used a couple up here already. Cut some of those out. So you just cut them out and it's a rub-on transfer. So you remove the paper backing, rub on the key and lock, and remove the top layer, and you've got yourself a transfer, and it looks just like real art on pieces of furniture. All right, let me just hit my share button. If you want to share this, you're welcome to, and I'll share it to my group. I Restore Stuff. You can too, where I've got lots of people who love to paint furniture and home decor. And so we are coming to you live. I'm going to show you this signboard that I'm using. It's just a Montmartre board, and you could use it either side. So you could have this lovely framed area if you wanted to. And I stock some of these if you're local to Brisbane in my shop at Camp Hill Antique Centre, so you can do your own crafting on those. We've got round ones, square ones, rectangle ones. So this one's a large, I want to say 12 by 16 inch if you're in the USA. That's what size this is, but I'm going to use this front side today, and I'm going to stain it with this lovely Woodwick paint. So you can use, did you know, you can use paint as a paint wash. So if you'd like to learn how to do that, follow along with me now. We're going to use paint as a wash. All you have to do is water it down with a bit of water and create a lovely wash. Or I'm going to show you a different option today. Hey Jackie, thank you. Yes, cute stuff, she says. All right, so today I'm going to add some to a wet brush, and then I'm going to remove it with a damp cloth that I've already, it's damp, I've wrung it out in water. And so I'm just going to brush some on. We might start with the sides, I think. Just using whatever's in the lid here. Usually what I'll do is put a little bit of paint and add some water, maybe about 1 part paint to 10 parts water. That's around about what I use. But you can use whatever ratio you find is good for you. And so I'm just going to paint a little bit on the sides here, and then I'm going to just wipe it back. So you'll notice I haven't done a really good job of painting that, but I've got my damp cloth here. And we're going to wipe that back, and it creates a lovely stain on the edge. So we're going to do that all over this wood. Again, I'll do it on each side. I have to stand up to do this, but just so that you can see that a bit closer. And I'll be going live tomorrow as per my usual time on the Essential Stencil page, and we'll show you the whole collection again there. So if you would love to see that there, well, I think we'll be moving on with that dresser. So the dresser that I did, that's behind me here, you can see in the corner of the screen. I wanted to create that bone inlay look that you may have seen on older furniture. I don't know, I feel like there must be a particular country that does a lot of the bone inlay. Would it be India or one of those beautiful, or Bali, one of those beautiful Asian countries? Bone inlay or mother of pearl inlay. I think different countries might call it different things. So there's our stain on the sides. Now moving down here to show you there. I'm going to do that again. So my brush is wet. I'm just grabbing a bit of paint straight from the jar, and I'm going over the whole. Just going to work in sections, grabbing my wet cloth and moving it around to create a nice even tone of stain. And then once it dries a little bit more. It dries differently to when it's wet. So when it dries, you have in effect, you've lost the actual, so Fusion mineral paint is made with a built-in top coat. When you water down the paint, you're obviously compromising that ability to stick to your surface, or also your ability to have a sealer, a properly sealed finish. So it's important to note that. So when you're using this as a wash, you're usually using it as a wash over a raw wood. This doesn't work really as a wash over a surface that's got varnish on it or it's already painted. So just remember that when you're using paint as a wash, you need to be using it on raw wood, because we're trying to create a stain and the stain usually penetrates the grain, so you can still see those waves of the grain in the wood. And just a reminder too that I do upload my Facebook videos, all my lives, also to my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to subscribe over there, you'll see all of my past Facebook lives, because Facebook is going to be starting to delete lives from our pages very shortly. So all our old lives you won't be able to find there anymore, unless we've uploaded them again as videos, which some of us have been doing that. But all of mine, you'll find them all over on my YouTube channel. There we've got a nice stained surface. So that is using the color Woodwick. And again, if you're in the USA or Canada, you can use my code IRestoreStuff and get 10% off your fusion. If you're here in Australia, you can purchase them in store at Camp Hill Antique Centre in Brisbane, or online. I ship Australia-wide. There we go. So just showing you that gorgeous stain there. I thought I brought out a little piece of plastic that I could wrap my brush in. I did. I wrapped a different brush in it. And that's just in case I want to use that again for that wood colour. I might like to stain. Oh, here's another thing I was working on too, which I could do as a stain also while this is drying. Oops. There we go. I've got this cute little house. Now, because this is home themed set and all, I thought I could create this little house and put a little saying on it or something. So I've painted one coat of white, that's Fusion's casement in the white, and I could do the same thing I did with staining using this Woodwick colour for the roof. That might be an idea, so that you've got two different tones there. What would you put on this little house? I thought one of the sayings from my brand new collection, or we could add a transfer. So we want to do all the surfaces here, except these ones are the ones that are probably going to be glued or stuck together. Now, just be warned, the dog's at the door. She's our little guard dog. She could bark any minute now. She doesn't like, if we have a delivery or anything, she's barking at the door. So just a pre-warning. I can hear her getting interested in something, the front door. Okay, so we're staining that. You can see the blonde wood and the difference that it makes. Also the difference that it makes on different colour woods too. So this is pine, which is quite a blonde wood, but if you had something like walnut or oak, you get a different colour, or the cherry woods, you'll get those red tones in there. So that's that. Now I'm going to have to stand that. I might just lean that here for a minute. That creates a beautiful little stained roof. So a lot of these fun things we can do while we're prepping to make signboards. Adding a little bit more colour onto that one. That's the end grain there, which always soaks up and looks a little bit darker than your regular pine grain on the sides. Hi Barb, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, we will be going live with Essential Stencil on their page tomorrow as usual. I just wanted to come in here early because it's only a few more hours until my collection goes live on the Essential Stencil page, and I've got the link right there in the description of the live. Let me pop that again also in the comments. I'll try and do that now. And you can see the sneak peek and all of the different designs in there, in that collection. So we'll allow that to dry, and this will make a cute little roof for our house. I may even do some fun designs on that, so we'll see if we can, we'll see if I get time to do that one on tomorrow's live with Essential Stencil. Let's go back to and see I've only got one coat of the casement white there. You can still see the grain of the wood, so I'm not sure. I might just leave it like that whitewash look, or I could add another coat and go with that. So let's see, here's the board I created earlier. It's almost dry. Let's just kick that dryer on. If you've got any questions about any of the stencils or any of the processes I'm using to create the wash, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. big archway. And that is what I think we will do on this design. Let me just see now in a second. Sorry about that. So instead of opening a brand new one, I'm going to use the one that I used earlier, which I didn't clean off, but it's dried paint, so instead of using a nice new one. So here's our gorgeous arch. So see how you could use that just by itself, or you could also add the stained glass framing right on top of that. And let me also show you, you could add the words on top. So I may do that afterwards. Sorry about that little doggy barking in the background. So they fit perfectly within that frame. So let's have a look. I was thinking of kind of a sunset feel for this. So I might need a bit of painter's tape. And let's see if we can experiment with using some different colours to create a bit of a sunset. We want that nice and centered. What is it, Olive? Who is out there? Who are you barking at? Going crazy? Add a bit more here. I might add a couple more. I'm just adding it to my, peeling it off there so it gets a little bit detacked, if that's a word. And what we want to do is, actually, I'm going to put it right across the bottom. This is fairly thin down on this bottom face here. And so I want to make sure that I'm not going to, when I do my brush down there, I'm not going to create lines on the other side. So I want a nice wide brush. This is the largest one, the 7/8 inch brush. Nice flat end, great for stenciling. But as you can see, we've got this huge surface here that we want to work with. So for my sunset idea, I think we'll start with, where should we start? I don't even know where sunsets, start with the dark colour at the top or the light colour. If I look up sunset images, let's see what we've got. Oh, all sorts. We've got the sun kind of coming up here in the, like a little yellow blob in the middle. So we could even start with that and work from there. I am totally experimenting. Oh, we've got some purples going on in the upper areas of sunsets too. I've mainly got red, I've got yellow, I've got a bit of this chestnut mare to work with. So let's start with the bright yellow. Why not? Hello, Renee. How are you? Good to see you too. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to start with that. I'll use a bit of a large blob of that in my workspace here. I've just got to grab an offloading cardboard so that we can offload our stencil. Offload our brush, I mean. But, oh, let's just give it a go. I'll just add all the paint. We can do with all the paint. And I'm just going to add a big old blob of yellow in the middle. I'm going to try a little bit of blending. See how I go with that. Don't know if I've got all the right brushes for the blending. A few different ones here, stencil brushes and all. Then we want to add a little bit more of a darker colour. We'll try this. We can always add some more onto our cardboard here and do a little bit of mixing. This is called Chestnut Mare. It's got sort of orangey tones in it. I thought it might work for a bit of a sunset type of feel. Might even use my wet brush that I've just used for staining. In a minute, let's see. Grab another stencil brush. Total experimenting here, guys. Thank you, Kimberly. Okay. It's a little bit similar to the brown tones, so I don't know, it may not work. I'm just going to go around that. We can add some more yellow, blend it in a minute if we wanted to. And then we might add some yellow again in there. Dipping it in the yellow without trying to get that. Let's mix that together. Not quite working out how I thought it might, but we're just going to add a little bit of that tone around here. This is just creating a bit of a background to what we want to add to our sign. We might add some red to our yellow. That would create maybe a brighter orange than that chestnut mare colour. We've got some yellow here, so let's grab this red. The red I've chosen is this cranberry. A fun colour. It's got sort of the dark burgundy tones to it rather than a bright red like the Fort York red. I think we could even just add a bit more yellow. Something like this. More of a bright sunset, I feel. Let's get the yellow right down the bottom, and just being careful where that edge is to make sure you're coming really close to the edge, but not letting it go under the tape. I've just totally gone over that colour. I didn't like it. I just went over it. We're just going to blend a whole bunch of colours, see what we come up with. See what we come up with. Now I'm coming in from the edges. With this chestnut mare orangey colour. I think you'll still be able to see it. We've got that wood as the background, so it will blend in with that a little bit. I am not an artist. Should I preface my lives with that? Okay, so we've got a little bit of colour coming there, and that yellow again. It's just swishing it across, blending our colours all over the place to create a little bit of a sunset look. There we go again. Adding a bit more of the yellow. I'm not sure when to add the red. And grab some more of that yellow down here. Whoop. Go back with my orange. A little bit of experimenting here, folks. I don't know, I love experimenting. What about you? You can learn from me what not to do and what to do. Let's add a bit of red. Maybe we can start from the top. I could even add some purples and things. That's right, I was going to add some red and some yellow together. Let's see if we can grab a bunch of red on here. And then grab a blob of yellow. This yellow is kind of a bit chunky. Making sure I don't add any red streaks to my yellow paint. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. Don't mix your brushes together in the paint. Oh, there's another colour. We've created something new. So I'm just going to go drag this across again now, create this fun orange. And this is in my Timeless Home collection of stencils, available in just a few hours. I think we've only got a few hours left to grab a hold, till it is launching. So, you know, you'll be able to order yours. It'll ship right away. I'm just going to grab a bunch of whatever. Let's see what happens if I grab a bunch of everything. Grab some of that red in the middle. And we're coming in from the sides to make sure that we get the arch as it comes around. All right, now I'm going to add some more red onto my little plate here. My artist palette. Getting a little more red. And we've stained it, so if you've just joined me, we have just stained the wood, which is, I think it's a pine. The wood is more like a pine colour. And we're getting more and more red here. We stained it with Woodwick, just using my wipe on, wipe off staining method. There's a little chunk of the yellow paint. My dog is scratching on the door now. Okay, so let's get some of this darker red up here. And making sure that's coming really nice and dark on the top, then blending it back to those yellow tones inside here. I don't know, what does it look like from your angle? What does it look like from your angle? Just having a bit of fun with Fusion Mineral Paint here and some stenciling. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with this Timeless Home collection of stencils. Don't forget also that if you're just joining, that you can use my code I Restore Stuff at Fusion Mineral Paint and get 10% off your Fusion paint colours if you're in the USA or Canada. If you're here in Australia, I sell Fusion right on my website, irestorestuff.com. And you can, I've got free shipping until the end of January. So, it's February, till the end of February. All right, that's created a fun background for us. I don't know, does it look like a sunset? Let's have a look what happens when I take the stencil off. And we've got a bit of an arch happening. That's the colour. So we've got cranberry, we've got chestnut mare in there. We've also got a little bit of a mix of cranberry and little star, which is a bright yellow. And of course, I've used Woodwick for staining the background there. Being careful now to move my mess, because I always kind of mess that up and get things stuck in it. So let's have a look. We'll lift off the archway stencil. Now I did get a little bit of paint I can see down the bottom. So we will have a look at that. Now let's have a look. Yeah, right down the bottom, I just have a little bit of bleeding underneath the stencil. So make sure that's taped down really well. I think I'd let it go up, tip up a little bit. But there's our gorgeous archway. Now I can add some fun things to that. You have the option of now adding, which is the second part of the arch stencil, is the stained glass portion. Let me just dry that, make sure it's really dry. So here is the archway. You can put it either way, it doesn't matter. And then you would add it so you get it right, join it right up to the edge. And you can add a little subtle something to the background there. So I could, if I was wanting it to be subtle and then to use my words over the top, I would want to make something that's probably in the same color range as these. So either the red or the yellow or the chestnut mare. So I may, let's see, I might go with, maybe the chestnut mare might make it blend in a little bit with the brown on the wood, and then I'll do the words in white, which would really stand out. Or I could also do that in this Woodwick color. Thanks, Renee. Just trying things out here, as you do. Maybe I'll just go with the orange, you know. I can always go over it with the brown afterwards. This is Chestnut Mare. So now I want to grab my little stencil tape that I had before. You can get new ones if you like. It seems silly that I'm recycling my tape, but it's just easier than sometimes to just grab it and put it on rather than getting the tape and making whole new tape. It still works, and it's actually got less tackiness to it when it's already been stuck on something. So here, let's just tape that down really well there on that end, and making sure we get our other ends covered. Now, I do have that on my brush right here. So let's just start going for it here on this arch window. And you could do this black to make it really stand out if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do it in this color because I want it to be subtle, because I want to put some words over the top of my design. So depending on how much you've got on your brush, you've just got to a little bit of swirling, a little bit of going along the lines. I've got enough here to keep on going. So until I run out, I just keep stenciling. You just want to be mindful of where you started and where you're up to, because some of these colors are looking really similar to what I've already got under there on the side. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it works out. And again, going along the lines here. And when we've got lines that sort of join together, I do a bit of a swirly method. And again, if you're just joining me, I'll be live again tomorrow. Probably I'll be live here on my page again for the launch, and also on Essential Stencils page. I've got a busy week this week. Also got my nephew's wedding on tomorrow. See, remember, I'm in a different time zone than you, so the wedding's after my live with Essential Stencil, and some of you probably, you're going to a wedding now? It's nighttime. No, it's the middle of the day here, so it's a 3 o'clock wedding. Yeah, so that's exciting. Lots of things happening. All right, I can't remember where I'm up to here, and I think that some of this will look very much the same as underneath, but obviously in the yellow areas and the red areas, it's really going to stand out a little bit more. And then I will go over this with my beautiful verse from the Timeless collection, from Philippians 4 verse 8, talking about our mindfulness and what we think about. Whatever things are lovely, pure, noble, good report, we want to think upon those things. So I love that verse. And that's a part of the stencil bundle as well. All right, I think I've got everything. Did I get every spot? That's Chestnut Mare, and just pop that into a little packet, and we'll take that off and see if we can see the arch. Hopefully we can see this little stained glass, So it's nice and subtle, not too heavy, because that's what I was hoping for. So now we've got that kind of sunset look in the background. How's that looking? Sunset look in the background. Let's dry that off, and then we'll add our words. Thanks, Kimberly. Okay, so that's all dry now, and I'm really annoyed by this little tiny, can you see that fuzzy yellow edge right there at the bottom? It's annoying me. I will try and fix it, but I've got a piece of sandpaper paper, fold it in half. I might fold it in half again. So you're creating a bit of a edge And you could try, oh, there's a little blob of paint there too. You could try and just go along the edge really carefully here. But I've got to also be careful not to scratch off the stain, which I think I'm doing. So we'll see. I think it'll work. Oh, a little bit. So we'll see. Might have to come back and spend some time fixing that afterwards a little bit more. And if it does rub off that stain, I can always go back with my grubby stain cloth and just sort of add a little bit more right there. And maybe you won't tell as much when that dries. Oh well. Okay, so our words, our gorgeous words here. Now don't forget, when you order your bundle, you can use iRestore Stuff, the code, and save an extra 10%. And also, they will be ready to order. I'm going to see, let's see. I'm just going to go on my laptop here. It says 6 hours and 31 minutes we've got left. Is that correct? 4 hours and 22 minutes, sorry. 4 hours and 22 minutes till the collection launches. So I'm so excited about that. Now we're going to go over with white, and I'm going to fit this inside the stained glass window. And I think white should look really, it should pop a little bit on this, don't you think? Adding some tape to the sides, make sure it's staying nice and still. And I'll grab a 5/8 inch brush, and we'll use the color Casement, which is Fusion's one of their brightest whites. Oh, thank you, Renee. Looking forward to creating with this set. Renee is one of our ambassadors for Essential Stencil and does some amazing work. I'm running out of room on my little piece of cardboard here, but we will find a spot. It's just too, oh, got a bit of fluff. Olive has been really quiet today. What a good dog. Have to bring her all the treats when we're finished, won't we? So I'm just doing a swirling motion, which is how I do my stenciling. It's got quite small letters. It's like a typewriter font, I think. And then makes a beautiful wall art. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. Olive, not yet. Wait. Wait. She wants to, when she scratches on the door like that, it's not to go outside. I always think, she wants to go outside. Then I go over there and then she goes and grabs a toy. It's her little thing, her little reaction to, or message to tell me she wants to get my attention. It's an attention-seeking behavior. So I should teach her to ring a bell. Oh, now she's coming to tap me on the foot. Thank you, darling. That's a nicer way of letting me know. A little tap, not a scratch. I'll be finished soon. I'll be finished very soon. And so, it doesn't take too long, and you've got yourself a nice, beautiful sign, piece of decor. So if you're looking for any great stencils and transfers, look, you can use my code iRestore Stuff at Essential Stencil on any of their products. They sell the stencil brushes, a few different types of brushes, although I think some of them are out of stock at the moment. And they have a great range of transfers and stencils for all seasons, all holidays, you name it. What are we working on now? Our Easter collection. So you'll see some of the ambassadors there every weekday using some Easter things. We've got St. Patrick's Day coming up. We may see a few more projects with St. Patrick's Day. If you're a part of their Stencil of the Month Club, you'll enjoy being in that Facebook group because there's Lots of inspiration going on there. But yes, I am really looking forward to tomorrow's launch. Well, 4 hours. If you're up late tonight, midnight is the time. It'll be live. This beautiful Timeless Home collection, and you can get yours right there at Essential Stencil. Use my code, use my link. I would love for you to enjoy using these. Now, I do think I had a little bit too much on my brush down there, and I'm a little concerned that sometimes when I think I've used too much, I'll offload my brush even more and see if I can... There you go, there's my alarm. She heard someone, a neighbour, shutting a door. That's literally all it takes. Okay, let's have a look. Here's our project for today. And we've got that makes the words stand out there a lot better. Oops, did I? There we go. I thought it was a paint blob, but there we go. So let me just put this on here. Oops, we've gone crooked. All right. Oh, what is my hair doing? We've got a little wild mess going on here. Okay, so we've got a beautiful sunset background with stained glass there. Now, remember, you can leave this arch, the stained glass part off and just have the sunset background, or you could just leave the words off and create some beautiful wall art just using that. So how cool is that? Now, what I'll do, remember, I was talking about the staining and using a paint wash as a stain, and it compromises the built-in top coat that Fusion has for their paints. So what we want to do now is grab, which I haven't got here, and I won't do that right now, but we'll get some clear poly sealer and just seal that over the top. So that's what I'll do once I finish my live here. Thanks, Renee. Thank you, Pat. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks for watching, everyone. And for those of you who are watching the replay, thank you so much as well. I'll see you again tomorrow morning around the same time for a live on my page, and then I'll go live on Essential Stencil and launch it to all of their wonderful, amazing followers over there. So thanks for watching today. See you again tomorrow. Bye.